All right, so we're going to solve them both for y. So we get y equals negative x plus 4. So on this one, what is my slope? Negative 1. Which if I wanted as a fraction would be over 1, which means what are we going to do on our graph? Are we going to go up, down, left, or right?
Down.
So we would go down 1 and right 1. But what if I'm at the very bottom of my graph and I can't go down any further? So I could go up 1 and left 1. And what is my y-intercept?
4.
Why do I need to know my y-intercept? That's my starting point, right? So let's go ahead and graph this one. So we're going to go to where y is 4. And we're going to go down 1, right 1. Or we could have went up 1, left 1.
I like when I go back to read these notes and not know what you did. Because, like, your abbreviations.
Then write it out. I'm also recording it right now, so you can go back and watch the video.
I don't know how to get there.
Do you?
I still don't know how to get there.
Oh, I've told you like 10 times now.
Okay, never mind.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
Yes. All right, so 2x minus y equals 2. We're going to solve that one for y.
I'm going to subscribe. They'll probably be famous by the end of this.
And then divide everything by that negative 1, right?
Are all the teachers like subscribe to each other on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm doing that too.
All right, so on this one, what is my slope?
Oh my goodness.
Which means we're going to go up 2 and right 1, or we could go down 2 and left 1. And my y-intercept is
2.
negative 2. Okay, and what's our solution? How do we know where the solution is? By the graph. It's where they intersect. And where do they intersect at?
1, 2.
Count again.
I can't freaking read it.
2, 2.
I'm still trying to.
Isn't there a way to do it?
All right, so for number 2, it tells us to determine whether the systems shown in the graphs are consistent and independent, inconsistent, or dependent. Well, let's talk about what that means. What is consistent? Consistent is if it has one solution. So, like number 1 was consistent. It had one solution, the ordered pair 2, 2. Okay? Inconsistent. Whoops, I spelled that wrong. Inconsistent is parallel lines. And what kind of a solution would parallel lines have?
No solution.
Yeah, no solution. They're never going to cross.
Wait, consistent's parallel?
No.
Oh, inconsistent.
So anytime it's no solution, it's inconsistent.
Right. And then what is dependent?
Depends on something.
It depends on what the other one is because it's going to be the same line. It's they're called coinciding lines, actually. Coinciding, sorry. So basically, it comes out there the same line when you solve for y or when you graph them, okay? And I think of it, I can remember this dependent because the first line depends on where the second line is going to be because it's going to be in the same location. So, what would our solution be if one line's on top of the other line?
Consistent. Wait, what? Oh, like completely.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm thinking like cross.
Infinitely many solutions.
Can I ask about
Nope, infinitely many.
I just
At least.
do an infinity sign.
Let's look at that first graph there. So what is its solution?
No.
No solution, which means it is inconsistent.
Guess I'm highlighting it.
All right.
You're crazy.
You're wild.
And what about the second one?
That's what we're meant to do.
Coinciding.
Yeah, they're the coinciding lines, which means they are, or they,
Infinitely many solutions.
is it consistent,
Infinite.
inconsistent, or dependent?
Dependent.
Yeah, this one is dependent.
Hold up. Wait.